Hello, the internet. It is Monday, the 5th of July, 2021, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to, I was going to say wave number 5, day number 5 of July. July is where I go live every day for the month of July, right here on YouTube. Now look, you may be counting up the previous streams and going, Gives, there's a number missing. What happened to the number missing? Why is there a stream missing? Well, I want to talk about that tomorrow, not so much today on this stream, but I have been issued my first ever warning strike. It's funny, YouTube have a 3 strikes policy and you're out. Well, I got my first not strike, but a warning strike saying, this is like a test missile. It landed in your territory. And if you continue to do what you're doing, the real missile will come and that'll be our first strike. I don't want to talk too much about it today because I have appealed it. And when the result comes in, we'll discuss it. It looks pretty sketchy though, I've got to tell you. I'm not going to even say what it's about. If you're interested, you can diagnose my previous July streams and work out which one's missing. Also, an interesting little side note there. When you do get a warning strike from YouTube, they say the video is removed from YouTube, but you can still view it for 7 days. But there's no way to download it. That's intriguing. I was like, oh, if I can still view it, I can download it. No, they've removed. It's not in my studio. It's removed, except for a little player in the appeals window. There's a little player there, a little hard baked in player which you can view it. Thankfully, I dual upload everything I produce on YouTube onto a website called Odyssey, and so the stream lives on Odyssey. Thank you, Odyssey. God bless your cotton socks. Also, thank you for. Can we get these likes to outweigh the dislikes? This stream was meant to begin in a little whiles from now, about an hour and a half from now. I brought it forward because there's no surf. So I actually went up to Crookies and it's big and nasty and just all kinds of wrong up there. So I decided to bring this stream forward. But interestingly, already 2 dislikes before, like hours before the stream was set to begin. 2 people disliked it. So if we can get those, I see 2 upvotes versus 2 downvotes. If we can get the upvotes to go bigger than the downvotes, that'd be great. Really give it to the trolls and make them feel like they're useless, which they are. Robert Muller, g'day Benon, how are you? Good, I'm good, thanks. I thought the owner owns the car if they pay the rego. So let's talk about the discussion topic, which we'll jump into, but good to see you, Rob. It looks like it's just me and you for the month of July. My live streams on YouTube go nowhere. Nobody gets notifications. Nobody knows this happens. Which is ironic because then I get a missile strike from YouTube. So someone's watching this crap, but just not the population. Just, hello YouTube, you little buggers watching me. That's pretty funny. I see 3 thumbs up compared to the 2 down. I got to refresh my browser. Let me refresh my browser here and have a look, skis. I see 2 up and 2 down. I don't see the 3rd. But anyway, I would just like to send a dedicated message to the trolls that if all you're here for is to hit that down button, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. You will never win. You will always be losers. And we will always be winners. You can never win. So don't even think that you have a chance. You do not. And thank you for stalking me and maintaining a viewer on my channel, because in a sense, to have to downvote, you have to watch. And I appreciate that little integration into my channel. Thank you so much, you dicks. So let's get into the topic of conversation. Let's bring up the chat here. This is just me and Rob. Rob, it's just you and me. It was you and me yesterday. It's you and me again today. The idea of this stream is to talk about car registration. So we had a pretty heated discussion, my family and I, a little whiles ago about this. Actually, it got brought up initially on my D-Live stream. We were talking about I got a bunch of bills at the moment come through my way with Steve Van. You know how I do IRL streams in my van? Well, the first thing that came through, and this is obviously this is every year, so I was aware this was coming. So my registration for a motor vehicle to be registered in this country, if your vehicle is old, which mine is from 1996, this is a Mitsubishi Delica four-wheel drive diesel van, imported into the country in 94. So the vehicle will be 94. Sorry, imported in 96, the vehicle's made in 94. So it's an older vehicle. So in this country, to get a registration paper, you also need to go to a motor mechanic and have them give you the once over. So the motor mechanic checks the roadworthiness of the vehicle and says, yep, this vehicle is going to be suitable to be registered for another year. They give it their stamp. That cost me $42 to get him to give that stamp. The registration here itself costs $547. $547 to have your car on the road. And that's just the registration. You also need compulsory third-party personal injury insurance. That is the total of $345. So for 547 plus 345 plus 42 for the mechanic, you're looking at about $1,000. You're not looking at much change from $1,000. That's just to have your vehicle on the road. Now, when I explained that to my DLive audience, someone in the chat said, then if you don't register it, what happens? It's like, well, you can't legally drive it. You're not legally allowed to drive that vehicle on the road unless you go through all this. And then that person said, well, so then you don't actually technically own your car. In effect, you're leasing it from the government, who issue you with a renewal for registration every year. And if you don't pay that, they don't allow you to drive the car. And the question obviously was asked, who does own it then? Who owns the vehicle? Now, like I said, this did get into an absolutely heated discussion with my family. We were drinking the wine, and my sister was extremely vocal, let's just say, about motor vehicle registration should be... My argument was, it shouldn't be a yearly thing, right? My argument was, you should pay that tax, which is what it is. It's registration, it's tax disguised as registration, but you should pay that when you buy the vehicle. Now, whether you buy it brand new or secondhand is irrelevant. You are the new owner. Therefore, you should register the vehicle in your name. Why that needs to be paid every year and why it's such a huge fee, $547 just for the registration, that seems criminal. The insurance should be the dearer one. The registration should be a token. Well, we've got a database here in the Department of Motor Vehicle Registrations. What do we call it? Transport New South Wales. You guys know it in America as the DMV. We've got a database, and it's got your name linked to this vehicle, registration plates, blah, blah, blah. That's all that is, right? Don't forget, this shouldn't be the taxes that they take out of you to make the roads. That's a separate tax. That's a tax that they impose on the vehicle itself. And you pay your taxes, your income taxes go to all that crap too. This one feels like a scam. Feels like a scam. The chat said to me, the Americans in the chat were like, dude, what? $547? It's like $30 in America. $40 in America to register your car. The dearer one is the insurance, because you might be driving like a maniac and you might have a low credit rating, you might have a low insurance rating. That's the expensive one. It's the opposite here. $547 to get your car on the road registered, $345 to get the insurance, plus the $47 for the mechanic to give it the stamp. Aero Gamer in the house. Yo, Gibbs. Hey, Aero. How you doing, man? Good to see you. We're just talking a little, just like, I don't necessarily agree with the statement from the chat that time saying then you don't actually own the vehicle. And the reason I don't really agree with it is because of something my sister said. And she watches this, she'll be like, ha, got him. she said, you can still own the vehicle. You own it. And what you can do with it is up to you. However, until you pay the registration, you can't use it on the roads that the government provide for you. She's got a point. So you could own a vehicle and you could maybe, I mean, this is a slim amount of the population, but you could be a farmer and you could need the vehicle to kick around the farm, going to the pig pen and bring the slop and add the water and the trough and all that crap, right? That could be, and that would be a truck or a utility. That could be why you own a vehicle that doesn't need registration, because you don't drive it outside of your property. And also, should be noted, I didn't check that. I didn't fact check that's a thing, but it sounds like it should be a thing. If you're not driving on the roads, you don't need registration. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. But the thing that gets me is, because I have an old vehicle, I'm forced to do the mechanic check. I'm obviously forced to have insurance, and I'm forced to get the registration. So we're talking about $1,000 every year on top of the money I paid to own the vehicle. And unless I can pay the $1,000 every year, I can't use the thing for what it's intended for, aka driving. My sister's argument, it was like, not everybody uses it on the roads. And I was like, that's a slim portion of the percentage of the population. Very slim. But I will agree that there are crew that do that, but it's a very slim amount. Aerogamer, a paddock basher. Yeah, do you know if that's the fact, man? Is my sister correct? Do you need... oh, crikey, almost knocked out of my water. I feel like there may be... maybe the government might say, well, you need a different registration for that. You need a personal property registration. That's kind of where I think that they'd be the loophole. Hey, Arrow, give me a favor, dude. Can you just smash the thumbs up? I've got equal thumbs up to equal thumbs downs. If you could just smash that in the upward motion, that would get at least 3 versus 2. There is 5 people watching the stream and 2 downvotes and 2 upvotes. If you could upvote it, that'd be handy for me. Robert Muller says she has a point there because if it's parked, you can drive it around the paddock. If it's parked at the farm, you can drive around the paddock. I believe she is spot on the money. So what? Okay, so what other uses? What other use cases would there be for a motor vehicle outside of driving on the government-issued roads and around a farm? What other uses can you think of? I personally can't think of any. Done, mate. Thumbs up. Cheers, dude. Thank you, Era. Cheers, my friend. Yeah. What do you have any other ideas of what they could be? I genuinely don't know what that would be. You could see. Here's the thing, and I raised this point as well. Not only does the government make you register your vehicle, but you also have to register a trailer. So a trailer is a strange one because by its very nature of design, a trailer needs a vehicle to tow it. Unless you've got a trailer that's self-powered, which would then make it a vehicle. So why would you need to register a thing that cannot move on its own accord unless it's attached to the thing that's registered? It's like a double dip at that point, right? Like you might say a boat trailer, like you're wealthy and you've got a boat and you want to take the boat out. To get the boat to the water, you need a trailer. The trailer has to be attached to a vehicle, which you'd assume is registered. So why do you have to register the trailer as well? When as soon as you unhitch that from the vehicle, the trailer can't operate, it can't move, it's stationary. It's a fair point, right? I raised that during our family discussion and I got knives thrown, figuratively speaking. Nobody threw knives in the family. No need to call the government there's domestic violence going on there, all about registration. No. Figuratively speaking, there were daggers pointed at me for even saying that. Timbo, my mother's, she hates the word partner, my mother's friend, he made a good point. He said, all right. If you don't own the vehicle, then I can come and take it. He made a good point. He said, look, if you're saying, if you don't pay the registration and you're not legally allowed to drive it on the street and the government owns it because they're holding this over you, the government still owns the vehicle, not you. He said, well, then I can come and take it from you. I can come and remove that. I can take it from your garage and it wouldn't be stealing because you don't own it. I'm not thieving at that point if you don't own it. And I said, and I thought this was a good rebuttal, I said, well, you're stealing, but you're not stealing it from me. You're stealing from the government. Ooh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to steal from the government. So he was like, and then he was drinking it. But then you said you paid for it. So who did you pay to have it then? If you paid $6,000 for Stevan, and you say you don't own it because you're not going to register it, then if I take it from you, I'm not taking it from you. I'm taking it from the person you paid the $6,000 to. I was like, oh man, this is now going in a massive spiral. And let's have some more wine and make it even clearer. It's like you got to register a caravan. So that's a tricky one. A caravan essentially is a trailer. A caravan is a trailer on steroids, but not to be confused with an RV or a motorhome, right? They're two different things. I completely understand registering a motorhome, an RV, but something such as a caravan, which does not power itself, cannot drive without the hitch. It cannot function unless it's hitched or attached to a registered vehicle. That was the crux of my discussion, the crux of my confusion. And I got to tell you, I'm still not that clear on the answer. I still don't really understand it. I'm just refreshing my browser here on the side. Yeah, I still don't get it. I still only see 2 upvotes and 2 downvotes. That's a shame. 7 people watching, and I see 2 upvotes and 2 downvotes. Can we get the upvotes up, folks? That's a simple thing. I just don't want the trolls to have their games. Now, the other question is boat registration. Not that I'm wealthy enough to own a boat, but you've got to register a boat as well, obviously. So you register the boat, you register the trailer the boat sits on, and you register the vehicle the boat is towed by. None of those things exist without the other. Sorry, a trailer exists, but you could just park it in your yard and never use it. It seems insanely expensive, and it doesn't seem to have a very good. Doesn't seem to be very valid. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Because they're my thoughts, and I'm here to raise the question with you. And if you've got any additional thoughts, now's the time to speak, or we'll wrap this shizzle up, because I don't even know why I live stream on YouTube. YouTube, you're a funky place. I don't really enjoy this, if I'm being honest. I'd much rather stream on DLive, but here we are, DLive. There are 5 people watching. There we go, 3 upvotes versus... I've got 6 people watching, 3 ups and 2 downs. Thank you very much. I'll throw this open to you. If you want to add a comment, now's the time to speak up. If you've got something you want to add to this conversation. Yeah, it's an intriguing question. The other question is, why is it so expensive? I guess, why is it so expensive in Australia? Why can't registration be, it's essentially a database. That's all it is, a database connecting your name to a vehicle. That should be token sum, $30, $40, 500 and what is it? $547 for that database? Shit. Good morning. Hello, Charlotte. How you doing? Four upvotes. Yeah, mine's lagging. How you doing, Charlotte? Good to see you. Did I miss the Sopranos trailer? Sopranos trailer. Is that what you linked me? I put that into the I'm not doing that on YouTube. Heck no. I put that into the DLive, into my tabs for DLive. Yeah, but is that what that is? A Sopranos reunion? I just saw it and I was like, oh, the Jersey Shore or something. I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. It's Sopranos reunion. Wow. Did I miss? Why? Because I think the ScoMo Gov and that like to add extra to their pockets. They're lining their pockets. Right on, Rob. Right on. Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap this stream up and to sort of end where we began. And for Charlotte's sake, I guess, and Aero Gamer, I might try to stream on DLive this Alvo if I can get it working. Melbourne Doug, hell yeah, dude. Do it, man. Do it. Well, here's the thing. I got my first ever warning strike on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to explain why. I'm not going to explain which live stream it was, but I got a warning strike and a removal of the live stream from YouTube. I've appealed it. And when I know the results of the appeal, I will then discuss it further. The interesting thing there is YouTube say to you in the little discourse that they send you, I took screenshots of all this, it says the video has been removed from YouTube, but you can still see it. And they give you this little, like a hard baked in player, like a video player. So it's not in my dashboard. It's not in my studio. I can't go and download it, but I can view it. And I was thinking, that's kind of odd. Like, why can't they leave it in my dashboard where only I can see it because no one else can see my dashboard, and then I could download it for my own reference? No, they've removed it from my dashboard. There's a little inbuilt player and that plays it. Now, at this point, it's very lucky that I also dual upload to Odyssey. So the stream is still available and will still be available on Odyssey. YouTube removed it. It's already up on Odyssey. All good. What I want to do, I want to look into, when I get the response back, I want to look into the specifics of it without playing it and without repeating the specifics. It's going to be very, very tricky to do. I want to do it on YouTube where I talk about the strike. Well, it's a warning strike. It's not even, you get 3 strikes and you're out. I've got no strikes, but there's one that says warning strike. It's like warning, warning, warning. We're about to throw a bomb. If you don't move out of the way, we'll hit you with it. So I'm not in any poo, but I am curious as to the nature of the warning strike, given that I think it's incorrect. But we'll wait and see what they reply with. How dare they throw the sheep off track? It's a fact. And Charlotte, I don't want to say what it is because this will obviously do the same to this stream, but I did reply with a link directly to the thing. So there is that. But folks, there's that, and there's this, and there's no surfing today. That's why this stream's a little earlier than usual. I'm going to wrap it up here, though. I wanted to talk about motor vehicle registration and what it's for in Australia and who owns the vehicle. We did have a little conversation here. It's mainly me, Rob, Aero Gamer, and Charla Rose. That's okay and fine. That's the nature of 23,000 subscribers. 23,000 subscribers on YouTube. 5 people watch my live stream. Tell me YouTube's not broken and I'll dance the Wooty Fandango. And I'm seeing you tomorrow, folks. Catch you all later. Pay this now. No, I won't.